I'll read from World in Space again. We're on page 70. The Bronze Age minerals, that is pure copper and copper ore. Ancient copperhead from iron, from Iran. This copperhead was made thousands of years ago. It is no longer bright because in time, copper is covered with a greenish coating called patina, courtesy of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York. Bronze Age minerals. Do you have a brand new shiny penny? If so, you know what the mineral called copper looks like. Pennies are made of almost pure copper, a gleaming reddish-brown metal. Copper was one of the first metals that people used during the Stone Age. People had only stones and bones with which to make weapons and tools, but about 10,000 years ago, people found that they could pound and shape lumps of copper into knives, spearheads, and bracelets. Those people of long ago found great lumps of pure copper in the earth, but people have taken copper out of the ground for thousands of years. Now there is very little pure copper left. Today, most of the copper we find is mixed with other minerals. Minerals that contain copper are called copper ores. Copper is an important metal. Most of the wires that carry electricity into our houses and factories are made of copper. This is because electricity moves better through copper than through any other common metal. Tin is another metal that people have used for a long time. It is a bluish-white metal that is heavy and soft like copper. It comes from a brownish, glassy mineral called cassiterite. People of long ago often found pebbles of cassiterite in riverbeds. Today, most cassiterite has to be dug out of the earth. About 5,000 years ago, ancient people learned how to mix tin with copper. By melting tin and copper together, they could make a metal called bronze. Bronze is much stronger and tougher than either tin or copper. From bronze, the ancient people made swords, helmets, armor, cups, bowls, and many other things. When people learned to make bronze, it was the end of the Stone Age and the beginning of the Bronze Age. When we think of tin, we usually think of tin cans, but tin cans are really made of iron or steel, covered with a thin coating of tin. The tin gives the cans a shiny look and keeps the iron or steel from rusting. Now we'll go into the Iron Age. The Iron Age mineral. Safety pins and skyscrapers, scissors and steamships, automobiles and airplanes. None of these things could be made without the mineral called iron. Iron is a metal like copper and tin and bronze, but iron is much harder and tougher. It is the best kind of metal for making tools and things that need lots of strength. There is iron almost everywhere in the Earth's crust, but it is almost always locked inside other minerals. Minerals that contain iron are called iron ores. When these ores are heated, the iron flows out as a thick liquid. When the iron cools, it is hard, dull-looking, black metal. Iron has always been an important metal since people first began using it, about 4,000 years ago. It made better, longer-lasting tools and weapons than either stone or bronze. The use of iron brought the Bronze Age to an end. When people began making things out of iron, it was the start of the Iron Age. Many things, such as fire hydrants, fancy fences, and parts of automobile engines, are still made from iron. But much of the iron now taken from the earth is mixed with other materials to make an even harder, tougher metal called steel. People have known for a long time how to make steel, but it was always very expensive and was only a little more than 100 years ago that we learned how to make lots of steel cheaply. So many things are now made out of steel, such as safety pins, scissors, skyscrapers, and automobiles, that it is sometimes said that we live in the Steel Age. This mask and helmet were part of the armor of a Japanese warrior 200 years ago. The Japanese iron helmet and face mask. Some iron ore there. The Atomic Age mineral. The prospector moved slowly across the rocky desert hillside. He was searching for a very valuable mineral. He had no pick or shovel. As he walked along, he held a metal tube over the rocks. A wire connected the tube to a metal box he carried in his other hand. Suddenly, a popping noise came from the box, then another. Then the pops came so rapidly they sounded like a machine gun. The prospector let out a whoop of joy. He had found the mineral uranium. Uranium is a mineral that is the main source of atomic energy. It is a metal that is radioactive. This means that, in a way, it is exploding, that it shoots out tiny bits of itself in all directions. These tiny bits are parts of the atoms of which uranium is made. They are so small they cannot be seen with even the most powerful microscope, but they can be discovered by a machine called the Geiger counter. Uranium is never found by itself. It is always mixed with other minerals. Prospectors usually look for it in a mineral called pitchblende. Pitchblende is a lumpy black rock that shines like fresh air. It is found near the top of the ground. Uranium is also found in a powdery yellowish mineral called carnotite that forms in a thick coat on sandstone and other rocks. When uranium is taken out of pitchblende or carnotite, it is a heavy silver-gray metal. Copper is the metal of the Bronze Age, and iron is the metal of the Iron Age and Steel Age, but uranium is the metal of the Atomic Age, which has just begun. It's a fact, uranium is a radioactive metal. That means that it is constantly exploding or shooting tiny bits of itself out in all directions. That's some uranium ore. And this is pieces of uranium. Very cool.